Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here, I hope you're all doing well. So in this video we're going to quickly go through the latest patch for Escape from Tarkov. This is being currently applied right now as I do the audio for this video, so as soon as you see this video the patch will have been applied to the servers and you'll simply need to update your game via the launcher. So this is a cleaning of house patch, there is no new content or anything like that in this patch, it's simply getting rid of some of the bugs that have been found out since 0.12 was introduced and making a few changes to the game. There's way too many bugs for me to go through, the list is very extensive, so of course I will put a link in the description below so that you can go check out the full list. I have linked into Reddit this time because quite often when I link to the Escape from Tarkov forums you have to go through the pain of having to sign in to view them, etc. So this time it'll just take you straight to Reddit and you can view them, no issues. So picking out some of the more juicier fixes, the bunker door activation bug at military base has now been fixed. Now I'm not hugely sure what the activation bug was. I do know that there were issues with it sometimes working and sometimes not working. I know people were complaining that you were able to just go straight to it without activating it and you could use it. I think now it must be activated for it to be used at least by PMCs. I think even if it's got a red light on, a scav can still use it, and also even if it isn't listed in your extracts you can still use it as long as you activate it. Next up, they've fixed a bug that they had in counting in post-match statistics for fatal hits in parts of the body. This was affecting quests, especially those where you had to get headshots to finish a quest. It was counting arms and legs, and you know, even when you'd clearly hit a scav or a PMC in the head, it wasn't counting it as such. That has now been fixed. A bug where bots could ignore players. This is one that I have witnessed myself. A couple of times on the reserve map I've walked in to go to where the hermetic door is, the bunker extract, walked into scavs and they've simply not seen me. They just stand or they kneel on the spot swiveling round and they just don't see me at all. In fact, I've been able to get quite a few kills on scavs that simply just ignore you. Now that's not the case, that's a bit of a bummer, but oh well, you do want the scavs to react properly when you come across them, so that has now been fixed. Been a couple of changes to the hideout. We now have the option to adjust the volume in the hideout. Thank God for that. The volume in the hideout was just ridiculously high, so high in fact that I couldn't hear, you know, squad mates on Discord talking to me if I went into the hideout. It was just way too loud, so now we've got a volume adjust for that, which is a godsend really. And they've also removed the confirmation when leaving the hideout, so it'll no longer ask you if you really do want to leave it, it'll just push you back to the main menu. You know, there's no reason for it to go, are you sure you want to leave? You know, you've clicked back for a reason. Been a couple of changes to the preset system. Now if you're not sure what the preset system is, this is basically where you're able to basically save custom loadouts of your weapons. You can build up different builds of your guns and save them. Now you must have workbench level 1 unlocked in the hideout to actually use this. Until you have that unlocked, this option is grayed out in the menu. It is quite a good feature but does need a little bit of tweaking, and they've done some with this patch. So now presets will now get overwritten if there is a preset with the same name. This is before, if you saved a preset, you know, if you built up say an AK-47 and you saved it as AK-47, if you then went in and created a new preset, you would have to rename it something else. You wouldn't be able to overwrite your original one, but now you can. When searching for presets, the filter show only from traders is automatically enabled, so it won't add things in that you could maybe go to the flea market and buy if you need to. It will simply show things that are available from the traders that you have unlocked and at the certain levels, but obviously you can untick that to include things from the flea market if you need to. And now you don't have to save a preset before looking for those individual items on the flea market or with traders. Before you would have to save it, you know, and it takes up room, it's a pain, but now you're simply able to just purchase all and it won't save it. And those are some of the, what I think, much needed changes to the game at the moment that have been made with this patch. As I said, the list is extensive, I can't go through them all, I'd be here all day, but there are some good changes, some good updates, getting rid of some of the annoying bugs out there. A couple of bugs that I would like to see done that aren't listed in this though. though is the blue grass. Now I don't know how many other people have suffered from this, but it's predominantly happening to me on woods and shoreline if I scope up using a PSO or a Valde, which are pretty much the two scopes I like to use for long range shots. The grass will turn blue. It's not game breaking, but it is quite annoying. That isn't listed there, but I have seen several people complain about it in comment sections, so hopefully that'll be one that gets done within the next couple of weeks. And also one where when you use stuff from your stash in the hideout to create things, you should be able to choose what it takes out of your stash. So for instance, when you're finding things in raid that you know you will need for a task that is up and coming, it's actually taking things from your found in raid items and using them to create things in the hideout. So instead of being able to buy things from the flea market and use those, it's taking found in raid items. So that would be a good one to see implemented, especially if it's, you know, these are hard items to find. You spent a long time grinding to find them, and you know, you're not able to choose what the hideout uses to create other items. So hopefully that's something that'll get implemented eventually as well. And that's pretty much it for this video, folks. Just, as I say, some good changes, getting rid of those bugs, making the game a little bit smoother for everybody, getting rid of some of those annoying little niggles that it has, which it didn't have too many, to be honest, after 0.12. You know, you expect things to be a huge mess after a massive update like that, but it wasn't too bad this time. As I say, an extensive list of bugs, but really none of them are hugely game breaking. So yeah, so if you are interested in more Escape from Tarkov content and you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. There will be a lot more content coming out in the future weeks. I've got a lot of videos coming for tasks and quests within the game. They're sort of like piling up and I'm trudging through them as we go. So please do consider subscribing if you can. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.